In the top left of Necropolis we do have Rogue, in the bottom right it is Maru. So let's set expectations for this one. Do you guys remember back in the day, like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago something, we all wanted to have that Maru versus Serral thing happen. Everybody was waiting for that, holding its breath. We wanted to see the gods, the god of Korea and the god of Europe at that time, to play each other in a best of 5 and a best of 7, everything on the line, and it never really happened. And one of those road blockers, specifically for Maru, was Rogue. And how did he do that? How did he manage to block Maru so many times in these important overseas events? Well, Rogue is someone who is insanely talented at finding abusive strategies and tactics and utilize them very optimized to a super sharp timing, and just like make this so insanely one-sided at times that it's incredible to watch. And even like, there's so many clips from Rogue sitting there watching in the camera when he knows the game is over, and the opponents are like, this can't be. This can't be. Like, there is no way I just lost to a strategy that was, of course, well executed. But it's not like he got outplayed. It's like you got out-strategized. And that's some strength that Rogue has under his belly. He's very good at masking his strategies. He's very good at discovering abusive tactics with certain strategies. You see the same strategy being used by Solar or by Shin or by Dark even, but they would never have the same abusiveness that Rogue does, because he tactically approaches the game way differently. He's not trying to find an advantage for himself, in a way. He's trying to find the worst point his opponent, the worst time his opponent could ever have, like the worst weak point in the armor. And he's not kind of looking at it from his own perspective, he's looking at the perspective of the Terran and seeing like, alright, what's the worst that could happen to me right now when I'm doing this build? Oh, if I get like a Nidus in a backdoor and I don't see it, oh, that's the worst. And how can I, like, what am I looking for as the Terran scouting around? So he purposefully just kind of lead that scouting intel into a different direction, and then he molds his strategy around that misdirection and misinformation into something unstoppable eventually. And then those are moments, like, of course he doesn't do it all the time, right? Those are those games where you see him just stare in the camera, not hands off the keyboard, because he doesn't even have to do anything, and the opponents are frantically trying to defend. They're trying to patch up a boat that's already underwater. They're still trying to patch it up while they're like inside a small air pocket, and yeah, they're not trying to leave the boat, no, they're trying to patch it up. So it's already sunk, but they just don't realize it. And yeah, that's how bad it is. But you'll see those clips or those moments most from Rogue, and that's why he's such an abusive player, and that's exactly what we're seeing right here, right now. So you're looking for this as Maru, you're looking at this, oh, there's the third base coming up. Okay, so maybe a little bit late, but oh, let's have a look at the drones. Oh man, you don't really have that many drones, right? What are you doing? Let me actually kill the drones. It's a good trade, no? Oh, there's some links. Now, okay, that's enough for defense. That's probably like the normal defending links. Then it's the link flood across the side. There's actually an opening here. The CVs are going out, but he just doesn't care. He's just gonna kill the barracks because that doesn't have any armor, and it will open more room to get in. This would be like a one-tile block. Very easy. He's even morphing a baneling, so you cannot replace the foundation here. And wow, he's just streaming in. Baneling's coming in now as well. He can just frickin' kill him. There's a bunker finished up, but yeah, he just busts through the supply depot and now he's in the main base. There's nothing left for Maru. Rogue is the master of abusive strategies and tactics. And you have to look at it from Maru's perspective, right? You're looking at this, oh, you see the third base go down. It's like, alright man, he's taking a third. He doesn't care. The third is like, it's like a full red herring. It doesn't do anything for Rogue. In this strategy, it literally does not do anything. It doesn't... I don't think it did produce even a ling. We could go back and see, maybe it produced for the second wave like one pack of lings, or maybe it did make one overlord or something. So you might have utilized a couple of lava from that. It didn't do any mining, it didn't do any meaningful production, it didn't give you any creep, it didn't speed up a position you wanted to acquire. It was a solely scouting intel misdirection move from Rogue there with that third base. It was completely unnecessary. And he just made it. He could have made it inside of the base of Maru, because he just didn't use it anyways. But yeah, let's get into this. It was a little bit slow there. We're already at 11 workers here. There you go, and 11 as well for Maru's making his depot. But yeah, that was the misdirection I was talking about, and it looks so abusive. It looks like the opponent just doesn't stand a chance, because he is just feeding so well thought out false information. I mean, as Maru, you're looking at this, oh, it's a fast third. Oh, like, I'm catching the drones before they transferred. All that's down here right now. You see the queens, you're like, oh man, okay. You're gonna start to push out the creep very soon here. You see the links, it's like, alright, I guess I just caught you while the links were out of position a little bit, so I got some drones. He gets the drones, right? Rogue couldn't care less. Like, all of that. It was exactly it, as kind of as he intended, it feels like, you know? And then he just takes it with a baneling nest in the back, and the banelings blasting open the front door. Of course, Maru being a little bit greedy, trying to make a barracks there inside the wall that doesn't have any armor. And it cannot be repaired, so there's two things that do go wrong. As you can see now, this has a 1 armor, but this at this stage it doesn't. So two things that can go wrong here for Maru. And Rogue does identify both of them, and it's just gonna do that. I'm gonna take it, make an advantage out of that. It's gonna break that wall. Then he floods in because he already had so many links. And of course the lava production does help in that situation. Having links are so cheap. And even on 1 hatchery saturation, you will be able to produce more, or you have more minerals than you can ever produce links from 1 hatchery. So you kind of need a second hatchery anyways, just for the lava's sake, and with the queen especially. Now we do see a double reaper here on this map for Maru. He's gonna go ahead, he's gonna try to kind of be safe through aggression in this one, which he, by the way, never really got going in the last game, if you remember. This one he's gonna go with that 2 racks in base, so that's one of the safest builds that Terran can do in this matchup. He's gonna go across with the first reaper, he's gonna try to tag that drone. Unfortunately, only lings are gonna greet him here. The 1 drone is gonna evacuate. Well, it's always good if you can snag even like a Zergling, because you're trying to snowball this. So he gets a Zergling, that's a nice pick off. He's gonna damage that drone, but doesn't really do too much. So he will join up the Reapers now here. Just waiting for the third, and he has 2 more in production. So he's going up to 5. That's a good amount. What we see is a rather fast speed here from Rogue. So I don't think he's actually too hard to, or pressed here to kind of defend this one. Man Center is about to finish up here, but the base is already mining for Rogue. 9 drones, that's a lot. And it feels like the distance on this map is actually rather long. So he gets a drone, that's a nice pick, and he gets out, I think. No, he's actually gonna dive in. There's the links now, they don't have speed yet. This could be a big mistake here. Surround is happening, he does get out with the grenades for a split second. The Reaper is stuck. on that frickin' path up. Oh, he even loses the last one. It's like going out here right now. Oh, man. Oh, bro. And then he vanishes. So, there's the last Reaper. That was actually... That was terrible. He lost 4 Reapers to slow Zerglings. Now he has to evacuate his low ground base. He needs to raise the depots. He needs to be careful with the tech labs. At least gonna finish. He's gonna start stim here, but he needs to repair that as well. And Rogue can just deny mining here. There's no way to deal with this because there's no Hellions on the way. There's no factory on the way. You can't really wait for your factory. You need to take that low ground back as soon as possible. He has the terrain. He's just gonna mass Marines now. I feel like in this situation we might even want to cancel stim and just not go for stim, but for combat shields first. They can potentially push down with combat shields and have a very formidable group of Marines being able to fight that. Also, it would kind of signalize a fast push for Rogue. I guess he already can retake it, maybe. Just get a couple links there. It's gonna change the math to do some damage. He will retake that, but that was a lot of lost income. Now finally resaturating that area. Rogue is just looking very, very powerful at home. He gets a Baneling Nest, gets an Evolution Chamber with the Carapace upgrade already going. He goes into a lair. He gets a 3rd base up and running. What does Maru have? He's down 15 SCVs right now. He does have a 3rd CC, so at least he has that going for him. But it's a very small, very slow ramp up here for Maru in this game. Engineer main the wall. Always a little bit risky. Only 1 though, so he has 1 already working on the +1 damage. I feel like he wanted to do something differently, like a different build than he is currently utilizing. Just from what we see here on his production and how the buildings are laid out. Like, you don't really see the 1 NG bay into 1 upgrade and then the second one halfway through that upgrade into the 1-1 setup. It's a very odd kind of adjustment. He still hasn't started the second upgrade, by the way. I think he might have cancelled that. Did he start it and cancel it? Could have been. He's gonna throw down additional barracks first. He wants to move on with the command center, but look at the freaking vision from Rogue. He has every corner around Maru's base is scouted. And then he has his creep starting to push out here as well. He's almost at the healing shrine there with the creep. And this map actually has a lot of space. Maru's gonna push down now, weapons are gonna finish here, but already the carapace is matched. So Rogue is in a good spot. He's already getting +2 carapace here ahead of the Terran, so there's no window again for Maru coming in anywhere. He also needs to start that. Doesn't even have an armory. Armory is not finished yet, so even a little bit slow there. A lot of small things that are just rippling into this moment where Maru just is not gonna be as powerful as he should be. And Rogue is, on the other hand, he is as powerful as he should be, or maybe even a little bit more. He's gonna scoot the queen off the map. Man, that thing did fly. It's still flying somewhere. I saw the shadow. Yeah, Widowmine production is gonna be good against the Lingbane style here. But there's also a Hydra then finished up. And he's getting range and speed. I feel like you always want to get speed over range unless you want to be very defensive with the Hydras. The speed just enables you to get kind of engage and disengage way better. Even though you say, alright, I'm only on creep anyways, I think it still does help. Also in like reinforcements and army rotations and all that kind of things. Maru's gonna find these links again here in the north. He's gonna lose a couple of marines there. Oh, that's actually 4 marines down. That's a lot. Maru's now pushing into the center left here, but the Hydras are there. And they will have +2 carapace in a moment, even though they don't have any attack upgrades yet. They do have their range finished up. But speed is not there yet, so they can't really chase anything. Oh, the one marine did get left behind here. You could see some bombers on the banelings, but I guess not. The hydras are there to cover those. And there's a tank in production, but it's not here yet. And this is Hydra style, so I don't really think that this is gonna be enough here from Maru. This could just be it. Rogue pushing in right now. Does have a lot of firepower. It's gonna crush into the SCVs as well. He has more banelings coming in here. Oh, the whole mirror line is gonna fall here. And even though the fourth base might finish up, everything is gonna die. And I don't think he has the army, the means to push this back. Rogue's gonna take the series just like that. I'm gonna go to the restroom just like that as well. Be right back.